All right, let's get to it. A lot of people want to rap about it. And again, if you're just joining, look, it's open for debate. Are we overreacting? Should there be no reaction? Beyond J-Mo getting suspended for gambling, beyond, guys, frankly, the rookie year was a total wash because even playing the last 6 games, he caught 1 ball. The video he posted to social media of him at the title fight in Vegas less than 24 hours after being suspended for gambling, guys, I'm sorry. At a minimum, it's idiocy. At a maximum, I think it's a window into immaturity, and maybe we have a problem here. Now, I love this kid. I want him to be great. I'm going to look like an idiot for defending this pick if he ends up washing out. I thought J-Mo's presence here was going to help lead this team to a division title. He's now impacted that because, yeah, it's only 6 games. The reality is it's going to take him a couple to get really in rhythm with his quarterback. You're talking about a half a season. Okay? It's a problem. I think it's okay to be concerned. Maybe you think that's an overreaction. I'm not mad if you do. So, David, a few ticket texts, and we will go to the calls.
Jameson Williams is already a bust to get caught gambling. What do you do when you go to Vegas? Maybe you're ignorant, but I'm not telling you. Okay,
how about English?
That one rough. The trip was probably a planned trip. He probably should have kept it low key, but what was he supposed to do? Not go?
When you're paid the better part of $20 million to be a professional football player, do you think I care about your non-refundable plane fare?
Okay, here's the thing. Yeah,
Christ
keep it low
almighty.
key. And, yeah, you know what? I may not be in the mood to celebrate knowing I could possibly lose $7 million.
Oh, and he already lost $400,000 in paychecks for games.
So I may not be in the best mood. Hey, Mike, I'm going to cancel the trip. I'm not really feeling up to it. I just lost a bunch of money, and we haven't even hit the roulette tables yet.
David, go ahead.
Not worried. J-Mo will be fine. He just wanted to see the fight. J-Mo is marketing to younger people.
Marketing?
I think he's saying his Instagram and all that
Okay,
crap.
if he wants to market to human beings, catch footballs.
Thank you. No concern whatsoever. At worst, he'll have that cliche wide receiver ego. We'll use him on his rookie deal and let him walk if he doesn't get it together.
If you traded up from 32 to 12, gave up assets, and you don't end up re-signing the player you take at 12, that was a failure. That's a bust. Come on, guys. You want to pay this kid. You know the conversation I want to have about Jameson Williams? I want to say that 3 years from now, we're finding ways to pay him $100 million.
Because if that's the case, then you might as well have drafted a running back because you're not going to pay him.
You shut your whore mouth.
No, but tell me how that's any different.
I don't want to talk to you right now. Let's go to Mike, 97.1. Mike, what's up?
Hey, what's up, guys? Well, I would agree with you guys. I think this is something to worry about. He still hasn't proved anything in the NFL. I will say, though, that and then, a week ago, he was more worried about getting the number 1 when he knew this was coming down. And on top of it, though, Mike, I will agree with you. He is a game changer because, even going back to college, if he didn't get hurt against Georgia that national championship, Georgia doesn't win that first national championship because Alabama was rolling with him in there. And he's that big of a difference maker. The problem is this guy doesn't have his head on straight. And the sample size I've seen wasn't impressive enough. And like you said, you're already talking about losing a season and a half after this. So the one good thing, though, Mike, is he is able to participate in all the off-season stuff. So, I think he can play in preseason games, and I think he can, play.
He can appeal for an early return after 3 games and begin practicing the 4th week. But remember, you're not going to put this kid out there and give him 60 snaps a week in preseason. You're not even running your playbook.
Right.
And then practicing for a couple of weeks, having not played, it's limited value to me.
You're getting the rust off, and honestly, because this was collectively bargained, I can't see the appeal being successful.
Now, I don't know if this is a little off topic, but wouldn't you like to see the Lions draft a receiver anyways in the first couple rounds anyways? Because I feel like their receiving core, they have St. Brown, Marvin Jones is really old, but who else they got? They got Raymond, but I think they need another receiver
Mike, you're right. I think that and they may end up getting receiver in the later rounds, but when you think about it, it's going to come down to you're going to have to make a decision on St. Brown, and is he going to try to break the bank Your other guys, you're right. Marvin Jones and all.
Well,
Reynolds, they're getting a little long in the tooth for NFL age. So, yeah, you could see an entirely different receiving core in the next couple of years.
you want to pay St. Brown, though. St. Brown's he's a rising star, He's got the skills, but, we still need a guy that can, make the field go down the field a little more, make it a little more horizontal,
And Mike, I agree with you, and it sounds great, but I'm saying I don't know what St. Brown's going to come in and ask for. He may say, you know what, I'm a number one and pay me like a number one.
Look, here's the other. All right, you want to know about Amon-Ra? Here you go, Mike. What I would comp him to is go back and look at what Christian Kirk got from the Jags. Amon-Ra St. Brown has done everything and more that Christian Kirk did with Arizona. If Amon-Ra hit the open market, he's a $100 million player. Okay? Now, provided he keeps performing. But he's a hell of a good player. Tough as nails, committed to his craft. I never hear nonsense about him. He's about the work. I'm happy to pay that guy. The opposite of that so far has been Jameson Williams. The opposite of it. So, look, your question about what would I do, I've already said it. No, I'm not taking a receiver in the first round. It's not happening. But somewhere in this draft, would I take one? Sure. And you go, oh, well, geez, that's specific. No, I can't be specific because they have to love someone to use pick 55. Mm-hmm. I think you could use pick 85 and get a really nice player. But here's what else I would do. I would go to the scrap heap, and I'm only saying this name because at least you know who he is. I'm making an example. I'm not
Sammy Watkins.
Right. I'm not committed to. I sign a guy on a DJ Chark prove-it deal. I have Marvin Jones. I would have a veteran. I would have Reynolds. I would have Amon-Ra. I would have a rookie. And whether J-Mo gives me anything or not, I'm going to war with this crew. And if J-Mo decides he wants to work, cool. He'll bypass at least 4 of those guys on the depth chart. But I'm going to make him work for it when he gets back. No more handouts. I was ready to hand him 100 targets this year.
So basically he has to earn that starting job back.
Isn't that what their culture is?
Oh, touche. Mike with the D. Mike out here playing like Jimmy Butler. Okay.
Well, I'm being serious.
No, you're right. Nothing's handed to you. You are correct. I've
been
hearing about this
culture?
culture.
Cool. Yeah. The train's moving. You can decide to get on it or not.
Because, Dan Campbell and those guys, they want football guys. Well, this ain't showing me you're a football guy. The one caller had it correct. You knew this was coming down, and you're more worried about getting the number one.
Yeah. Nick, 97.1. What's up, Nick? How you doing, buddy?
Nothing. I am doing well. How are you?
Excellent. What's up?
Good. No, I would just say in terms of my J-Mo worry, I'm at like an 8.5, 9 right now. With the staffers, I'm more. I just think that could have been some ticket sales guy who got caught gambling. Like, I'm not. Like, I don't think that like reflects Brad or anything, but J-Mo, I let the social media stuff kind of fly for a while because he's kind of loose with it, right? He kind of posts whatever he wants. He doesn't like think that he's an NFL player sometimes. The way he posts on his Instagram story or Twitter, like the Lamar liking stuff. You can do that. You can do whatever you want on social media. But now that he's taken to social media after being punished and kind of acting like it didn't even happen to me, looking at that video, he looks like he doesn't even care, and it kind of bothers me. Like, I don't know. I just hope we have adults in our wide receiver room. We have Marvin Jones. We have Amon-Ra St. Brown. They are no nonsense business guys.
Yep.
They better get through to him or else it's over for him.
I don't have a problem if you're worried. And Nick, I guess none of us are going to know. We're not going to know if we're right or wrong until this thing plays itself out. And I hope we're all wrong. I hope the kid comes back and he's a superstar. But he's doing a lot of stuff. He's doing a lot of little stuff that adds up to a problem.
Would you forgive him? Would you, like, if you're Goff and he shows up, I think I'd be really mad at him.
Let me say this. I can't speak for Jared Goff, but let's pretend for a moment, and I shudder to think about this, that sadly I was the starting quarterback of the Detroit Lions. Do you know what I would think of Jameson Williams right now? I would think, as the quarterback of this team, he's a moron. You defamed me in the offseason. You're more worried about what jersey you wear than the fact that you just got suspended. You showed me up on the field multiple times. Oh, and then once the suspension came down, you just had to take in a title fight in Vegas. If I'm not speaking for Jared Goff, Me, Mikey, I would think he's a moron.
Me too, and it's sad too because I was at the game when he caught that touchdown and he's running around the stadium. He's so pumped up, and I'm like, I feel so good for this guy. He just came off his ACL. He's got some good chemistry, and then he shows up late to OTAs. Oh, he's tweeting about a teammate that just got traded. You know, he gets suspended. It's like, man, you are racking up this rap list right now, and it bothers me.
I know, and it can all be fixed. It can all be fixed with good football. But he's not going to get a chance to do that probably until, depending on the bye week, last week of October or whatever it is, November 1st.